We welcome you to Tony Lewis Field on the campus of Morgantown High School in Morgantown, West Virginia. Brian Guthrie alongside Josh Coleman. Got it without trying. It was right there, buddy. I was right there with it. As we are getting ready for the Division II state championship game between the Fairmont Senior Polar Bears and the John Marshall Monarchs. John Marshall, the top seed coming into this tournament, 11-3. Fairmont Senior, the 2 seed at 11-6. Fairmont Senior has a state title to their credit from back in 2009. John Marshall yet to get it. The Monarchs beat Preston 19-7 in the semifinals to extend their 9-game win streak. Fairmont Senior took out number 6 St. Albans 8-7 in the semis. In the regular season, these teams met up, and John Marshall won that meeting 17-4. Josh Coleman, thanks for bailing us out and helping us out with our game today. You are an assistant coach with the Kanawha Valley team.
Yes, I am. Our season ended a bit short this year, so I thought I'd try and help out the remaining teams and try and spread the sport around the state.
Well, we've got expected to be a great game. John Marshall, some of the stuff you've read, John Marshall is really the elephant in the room. They've got almost twice as many players as Fairmont State does. They don't have a state title, and that's something their head coach has kind of really said there's something missing in our trophy case, and it's that state championship, and this is our year. And they've really steamrolled some people here lately.
Yeah, well, with lacrosse, it comes down to how hard you want to play and, well, basically how the rest will let you play.
So in this state final game, we'll see how much they're going to let go. Yep. I guess as far as that goes, is the Polar Bear starting lineup being introduced, or Jacob Murphy, the senior goalie, as he goes out. Goals against average a little high at 9.4 a game. He's got a pretty good offense behind him. Junior Hayden Slager, 43 goals on the year. Junior Patrick Laxton, 29 goals. Jacob Cox has 28 goals. Colton Long has 24 goals. It feels like Fairmont Senior is going to play we're going to win 11-10 game.
Well, it's going to be hard for each team because you never know how the defense is going to come out. It's going to be a lot of ball movement, hopefully. Get to see some quick looks and might see some long plays depending on how the defense plays out this year.
So with lacrosse, we saw in the girls' game earlier, but a lot of elements of basketball, ice hockey, soccer, as far as the ball movements and set plays and stuff like that. More contact, though, in the boys' game.
There's definitely a lot more contact in the boys' sport. You definitely won't see as many stop and starts as the girls' game was. They try and keep the quick restarts constant, try and keep the game moving. It's known as the fastest game on 2 feet for a reason.
We're looking forward to a great game. John Marshall in the gold chrome helmets. It's nice on a sunny afternoon. If we can keep the sun out. We've had a little bit of rain here on and off so far this afternoon. As long as the storms don't come till we're done, we're in good shape. Mitch Owen back on camera. Happy to have him along for the ride. Thank you, Mitch. Thanks to everybody who is watching online with us and watching on Network West Virginia. And we'll see the John Marshall goalie come out, number 80, Austin Moore. He will get the start over sophomore Justin McGumphy. Austin Moore, a 4.4 goals against average on the season. And as I said, John Marshall, based off what I've read about them, they want to come out and punch you in the face first thing and really kind of break your spirit right out of the gate. Getting their final instructions from the refs. Goalies shake hands, head to their cages. Austin Moore playing in the long pants today. Great big load of water, but we will take it. Like Oprah, man. You get a water, and you get a water, and you get a water. We're ready to go. Division II Boys Championship about ready to get underway as we will see the face-off at midfield. Yep. And it will go in. Who's going to control the ball? John Marshall has it. Rolls it in their end as
they're moving around.
Got knocked away. Monarchs recover. Yeah, there's some running into each other. That's kind of fun right there. And this field a little shorter than the girls' field. So do they use the behind the net as much?
Behind the net, you have a player that controls the X position, which is what we call behind the net. So you'll see that utilized by feeding players cutting down to the middle, or picks coming up. Basically, the X lets you see the whole field.
Okay. We've got a flag down as the Monarchs work it again behind the net. So will we see a penalty on possession change? Or
normally what they'll do is if the flag is on the team without possession, then once the team that has possession drops the ball or the ball goes out of bounds, then you'll see the flag go into play.
And that's what we're seeing is we had a polar bear come off. So is he in the box? All right, so John Marshall playing man up. We got bodies flying everywhere. Number 12 is Luke Garrison trying to get a hold of the ball.
You can tell Fairmont's defense is definitely playing pretty aggressive at the start here, trying to push their offense out to keep them from getting any close shots.
Good job collapsing in around the crease. Shot is stopped. Polar Bear is going to go quickly on the attack. Now going to pull back and try to set a play up. 22 is Colton Long. Hard shot is on the way and in. That's Patrick Laxton. Number 25 fires in the first goal of the game for the Polar Bears. And that was just 20 yards away. That was
closer to 14 there. We got a little bit of field behind the net, so the numbers on the field are a bit off.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good rip nonetheless.
Very much. Typically, you'll see shots anywhere between 10 to 14 yards.
Substitutions coming on the fly for John Marshall. Quickly underneath. Shot wide of the cage. Battle behind. World's highest flag arc. .25, I believe is who they're signaling that on. I believe that was Laxton, who just had the score. So now Fairmont Senior again is man down. See if John Marshall can capitalize here. First quarter, and the Polar Bears already lead 1-0.
Now you see that they have two players in the center there. What they're doing is they're trying to pull the defense closer to the middle so they have an outside shot. And if someone from the outside wants to come in, then the defense would have to slide out, leaving an open man in the middle.
Quick pass across cannot be handled. Is that traveling? Not traveling. I don't know what that means. Nonetheless, Fairmont Senior got it back. Collision at midfield. As the Bears bring it in, trying to line up another shot on goal. Excuse me. 22 is Colton Long. One of their best scorers on the season. Now bound behind the net. And up the left side. This is Laxton again with the ball and lost it.
Seems there's a loose ball push and a change of possession.
So when the ball's loose on the field, it's not just like a free-for-all.
No. Anytime you have a push in the back, typically you'll have a ref call a change of possession. They try and keep us safe, make sure that we don't get blindsided.
That's probably a good idea. We're seeing the defenders with longer sticks that we did not see in the girls' game.
Yes, each stick, the attackmen have a 30-inch cross, deep holes have a 60-inch cross, and goalies typically have about a 40-inch cross.
Outlet pass from the Bears goalie. Gets it into the offensive end for Fairmont Senior. Trying to get it out front. Shot knocked away. Austin Moore, the goalie, got a piece of that one. And the Bears will reset. Looking for some space. There's a shooting lane. That one just a little wide. (39) Noah Bragg. 13 is Jacob Cox for Fairmont Senior, moving the ball around on the right side. 22 Colton Long. Slips a defender but lost the ball. And John Marshall on the attack. And that will go out of bounds. So in boys lacrosse, is it whoever, is it?
On shots, it's whoever can make it to the line first. If it's a pass that goes astray, then it's the opposite team.
Okay, that makes sense. Another one goes out of bounds along the near side. For John Marshall, number 18, Gabe Hayworth will bring it up the left side.
Fairmont's defense definitely playing aggressive, going with a quick double team, trying to get the ball.
And Fairmont comes away with it. This is Laxton pushing the other way. Loose ball in front of the cage is corralled by Moore. Quickly back on offense, John Marshall looking for a shot, knocked down. Shot scored. That's number 3, Aaron Reed. And we are tied at 1. It seemed like there was a lot of space out in front. Reed and a couple other Monarchs.
Well,
Fairmont's trapping defense just wasn't there.
Yep. When you have a player behind decks, it definitely opens a lot of opportunities up front because you're drawing all the attention to the back. And that gives you free reign up top if the defense lose sight of your attackman.
ready for the face-off. Middle of the field. And we've got a flag. What's that call?
That is a slash 1 minute. Should be releasable because it wasn't to the head.
So, who came? Did somebody go to the penalty box?
Yes, John Marshall for 1 minute.
Okay, I didn't see which team it was. So, Fairmont Senior is man up. And on offense. Shot on goal is knocked away by Moore. Knocks away another one. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, a good goaltender in lacrosse can stop about half of what he sees.
Typically, goalies tend to lead one way or the other. They either guard high or guard low, and depending on the goalie, if you read them, you can put in low if they're weak on their low.
He just made another save. Now we've got another whistle. And this is going to go against Fairmont. So the Monarchs will get possession and immediately throw it out of bounds.
Now, an important aspect of lacrosse is a clearing. You don't always want to just Hail Mary up the field. You always want to try and look for a closer path that is open.
Outlet pass from the goalie is intercepted, but John Marshall turns it back over. And the Bears come charging back up the field. Colton Long getting shoved out of bounds, but Fairmont Senior is going to call timeout here. 3:55 in the first quarter. We are tied up at 1. Division II Boys State Championship, the West Virginia Scholastic Lacrosse Association. I've yet to say it correct the first time today. So Josh, tell me, we're far enough into the game now. Everybody's feeling each other out, kind of seeing what they're going to do. We've seen Fairmont be the more aggressive team, both on defense and offense. What are the John Marshall coaches saying right now?
Typically, they're trying to wake them up. They either came to the game groggy or they're just not ready to go. Whether their warm-ups weren't enough or maybe they have a strategy behind it. Maybe they're trying to wear out Fairmont.
But for being a tie game, we've seen a lot more from Fairmont so far.
Oh, definitely. Fairmont definitely showing they're more physical out there at the moment.
Wind's picking up. We got some dark clouds. Hopefully the weather will stay away long enough for us to get these last two games in. Break huddle and head back out. Goaltending from John Marshall thus far has been very good. Out of the timeout, Fairmont Senior will have the ball, and it's Laxton to start up the offense. Another shot and score. That's Hayden Sliger, their top scorer on the year, and he nets one and puts Fairmont Senior up 2-1. And just patience on offense. They're just working the ball around and getting the shot they wanted.
Definitely. They're definitely pulling out the defense and getting a better shot opportunity.
Face off, and control is going to go to...
Looks like Fairmont has picked it up.
Wow. Fairmont stays the aggressive team here. Shot goes high, and we've got another flag. There's going to be some kind of interference on the shooter, wouldn't it?
I believe that's a hold.
Wow. Cross check on 13 for John Marshall. That's Mason Linder. And he will be off for a minute. Another man-up situation for Fairmont Senior. Try and capitalize. Patient offense. This is the part that reminds me of ice hockey with power play and penalty kill.
It's definitely an advantage when you lose a player for a minute. It definitely opens up the field for the offense and some other great looks.
Somebody's got to be open, and there should be. You know, if you wait long enough, the defense will usually make a mistake, or somebody going to get out of position. Or
typically, if you move the ball around, the defense will lose their player.
And just like that, off the inbound, it's 13. Jacob Cox rips one into the back of the net, and it's 3-1 Fairmont Senior. Polar Bears out to a fast start here in this ball game. 2:16 left in the opening quarter. 3-1 Polar Bears.
Sun's starting to poke out again. Wonder if that's going to have any effect on the goalies today. That's a jump on blue.
What's that mean?
It means he went early on the face-off. If you jump before the whistle's blown, then the other team gets possession.
All right. Ball went out of bounds, and Fairmont Senior's going to have it again. Goalie Murphy hasn't seen too many shots on his end of the field. Fairmont Senior has done most of the work here on offense. We've got another flag down. Shot, no good. And we'll see what the call is. White 7 is Brandon Heath for John Marshall, and he will come off for a minute. John Marshall's shooting themselves in the foot here.
Definitely. They're trying too hard. They're making plays, but they're making them in the wrong places.
Shot scored. Fairmont Senior makes them pay. .39, Noah Bragg, one of the captains. It makes it 4-1. Fairmont Senior has 4 goals from 4 different guys. .96 seconds remain here in the opening quarter. Excuse me, it's been all Bears. Monarchs almost turn it over. Collect it. Try to get into their offense here. Just swinging around and knocked away. I think Murphy got a piece of that one. I don't know if he hit the bar or. And a John Marshall turnover. Wow.
And a Superman dive for the trail check. Done a couple of those in my career, and they don't feel good when you come down on that turf. Off the crossbar.
Off the crossbar. Got a flag down. They say 1-0? I heard a 0.
Looks
Was it
like
10?
It seems so.
All right, so that is Ozzie Lister.
We'll see Fairmont's man down for the first time this game.
John Marshall needs a goal to get back into this. 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Trail check. That should have been my nickname in high school. Trail check. Fairmont playing man down. Turnover. And coming back the other way, Monarchs trying to get a shot off. There it is. That's number 20, Devin Norris. John Marshall capitalizes on the man-up situation to get back on the scoreboard. 4-2 now, Polar Bears. And 13 seconds left in the opening quarter. See if Fairmont can get a scoring chance here before time runs out, and it does not look like they're going to. That's how the first quarter ends. Fairmont Senior 4, John Marshall 2, back after a timeout on Network West Virginia. Back here at Pony Lewis Field in Morgantown. Of course, I forgot to change the scoreboard, make it the second quarter. I was just sitting here, we were talking about the first quarter, and we're seeing signs of life here now from John Marshall. But you know, if you have to pick a winner of that first quarter, you got to say it's Fairmont Senior, right?
Oh, definitely. They're coming out more aggressive. They're keeping the ball on offense. They're making more turnovers. The only questionable thing is their face-offs. They're being more aggressive, but what happens when John Marshall starts stepping up, coming on the wing play and picking up those ground balls? I think that's when we'll start to see this game really start kicking into action.
All right. Wind picks up, feels pretty good. Brian Guthrie here, Josh Coleman alongside, Mitch Owen on camera. Division II Boys State Championship game. Getting ready to face off to start the second quarter. Goalie switch ends. We're underway. And it will be collected by the Polar Bear defense. Shot on goal, score right out of the gate. Jacob Cox, his second goal of the game.
Before I said the men's lacrosse games move a lot quicker. It seems this game might be just dragged out with all the goals that they've been going on.
Cox nets his second goal of the game. 19 seconds in to the second quarter. Back to the face-off. Monarchs will have it this time. Monarchs had it, and they still have it. Swinging around, ball loose. Golf swing at that one. And a loose ball will be collected by John Marshall. It's number 11, Harry Galloway. Calming down, resetting the offense. Shot goes wide. Just 20. Devin Norris pulling the trigger on that one. Quickly inbounded, and shot's no good. That is Jacob Murphy, the Fairmont senior goalie.
Rolls just out of bounds.
It'll come back in for the Monarchs. Try to get to the man in the slot in the front, and knocked away. And it's going to be cleared by Fairmont Senior. Laxton will run into the offensive end with numbers, pulls the trigger, and caught by Moore. He will sling it to the other end. The Monarchs looking to get a shot off. Little give and go. Shot is blocked. Murphy makes the save. He will go out to midfield with the pass. Fairmont Senior quickly into the offense. Another trigger pull, and that will go wide. And the Polar Bears in transition especially, somebody's open. He's firing.
Oh, they're being very generous with the ball, moving around, getting some great looks.
Bears will stay on the attack with a 3-goal lead. Using all of the space in the offensive zone.
Again, they're just spacing out the defense, trying to get an open look on the inside there.
There's a pick.
Legal screen, change of possession.
And is it because he couldn't see him? You have to be
moved. He moved during the pick.
Okay. Monarchs on the attack. Another one stopped by Murphy. think the John Marshall player started to complain. He's like, oh, you said our ball. Never mind.
Yeah, you'll have that a lot, especially in such a quick sport. Players are no less than the refs do. Great check by Fairmont.
No penalty there.
Another flag.
Shot is bounced away, and it's on John Marshall. That'll be on Norris, a slash for 2-8. Sorry. That's Wyatt Hill. 28 is Wyatt Hill. He will come off for the slash penalty, and we'll see Fairmont Senior again man up. They have been very good this afternoon in a man up situation. Working it around, looking for the soft spot. Cranked up, fired right into the net. Well, not the goal net. Goalie's net. You knew what I meant. You saw it. Open man, can't hang on to the ball. John Marshall had a great opportunity, shorthanded. And they're going to turn it over.
That's especially difficult since they're already man down. They should have tried to keep possession and kill the penalty.
Would you have, is that one of those, do you attack because the opportunity's there or decide you want to kill the penalty off? Or?
Depends on how you play. Some players like to go and get the goal and end the penalty, and then some would rather just take their time, get their numbers even.
Fair enough. Bears continue to circle around their offensive end. I believe we're back to even strength. Tries to hit a cutter, not there. Pulls it back. That shot knocked away. Didn't have anything on it. Break a stick.
Appears so.
So while John Marshall's trying to hurry up and change defenders, Fairmont had a little window there. That one's going to skip wide of the net.
Definitely exhausting for the John Marshall defense, constantly being on defense, moving with their offense.
Bears stay on the attack. Shot blocked straight up into the air. Austin Moore, the John Marshall goalie, has done a good job, but he has just been under fire almost the entire game. Monarchs trying to clear. Loose ball on the ground. Still loose. Lost track of it. Monarchs come away with it. They'll finally get to set up their offense here. That Polar Bear D continues to be aggressive. They are in back pockets everywhere.
They are definitely not giving a chance for the offense to set up. They are going to attack all day long.
They got the turnover. And Fairmont, I thought they were going to give it right back. Now on the rush, skipped in, and Moore makes the sliding stop. And is that like where you were talking about if you try somebody up high or down low, is kind of skipping one in like that?
Sometimes you'll have a goalie that's more tendent to go to his low side rather than his high side. Allows a little bit more of an opportunity to get a goal on his weak side.
All right. Timeout, John Marshall. 4:45 here in the second quarter. Fairmont Senior leading John Marshall 5-2 in this Division II Boys Championship game. After this, the Division I Boys Championship game, we will see University and George Washington. We saw in the girls' championship game, same two schools. The overtime game. We got overtime.
Overtime. Quite the upset with the last-minute goal comeback from University.
Yeah, University came all the way back just to lose in overtime.
Definitely a great game to watch.
And the fact that Run DMC is on the PA system right now is not making me upset at all. Thanks to those of you joining us online, watching on YouTube. The original intent was to watch on Facebook, but we had an eventful first couple of hours, which seems to be how it works these days. Nothing works. Ah, technology. So out of the John Marshall timeout, how many timeouts you get in a half?
You get 2 each half.
All right. So out of the John Marshall timeout, it will be Monarchs ball. In their offensive end.
Another trail check.
Wow. Fire, shot from the slot, stopped by Murphy.
You can tell a big difference in the clears from each team. See how Fairmont strategically passing to get a closer pass that's open.
Shot, point blank is good. That's Noah Bragg. Fires it in, his second goal of the afternoon to make it 6-2.
I think at this point in time, I think it's time for John Marshall to start getting a little bit more aggressive.
They have, from what I read, they have another goalie that they aren't afraid to use. I can't see where you could blame the goalie at all. They can't get it out of their end.
No, it's definitely a full field team. If it gets back past the offense, the middies, and the defense, it definitely can't be the goalie's fault.
Face off, fighting for it. And scooped up by the Bears. Is that a trail check?
Yes.
Oh, and somebody got flattened. We're going to see a flag.
Probably start seeing a lot of big hits this game.
It's going to go on Fairmont senior Patrick Laxton. He will come to the side for a minute. We'll see John Marshall man up offense again. They have been relatively unsuccessful to this point, and just as I say that, they put it in the net. Sean Fitzpatrick, number 32, nets it for John Marshall. His first goal of the game cuts it to 6-3.
Just a great inside pass right there. Bounced it off the ground, threw the goalie off to fake low, and then had to jump all the way back up to read the bounce.
And that's one of the few times we've seen Fairmont Senior really pay for a mistake. You know, turnovers they've had haven't really cost them. Missed shots haven't really cost. That's the first time we've really seen an error immediately lead to a goal for John Marshall.
Again, they could just be getting tired starting into this quarter. Definitely lower numbers than John Marshall, so we might see that play in factor.
We talked about that. John Marshall's team's almost twice the size of Fairmont. Sidearm shot will go wide and out of bounds. I'm counting, shot goes up in the air, going to be collected by Fairmont Senior. I count 12 Polar Bears on their sideline, and I stopped counting at 30 for John Marshall. All safe from going out of bounds, and John Marshall puts it back on the ground. And the Polar Bears have it, and they will come back on offense. Quick shot, wide, and will go out of bounds. Thought about it, now we'll skip it in and it will kick over the net. It's 21, Sliger. You see the guys when they get the ball, they really just you can almost hear the stick cock back as they're really loading up to cut one loose, and it amazes me they have the control to pull it back.
Oh, definitely. Unlike women's lacrosse, you have a deeper pocket that lets you have a lot more hold. So it gives them a lot of leverage to bring it behind their back and pull it down.
Laxton's shot is knocked away. Rebound is knocked away, and the Bears nonetheless come away with it.
Looked like he tried to play golf there.
Laxton, he will bounce it in. Assist from Sliger. Laxton gets his second goal of the game. And it's 7-3. Under 90 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Just when you think you see a chink in the armor of Fairmont Senior, score again.
Definitely comes back to being aggressive. They're definitely fighting for that ball every second that the clock's running.
Bears had it, got bowled over. You looking for a foul there?
Oh, definitely. Especially going down for ground ball and getting hit in the back.
Ball will go to the Bears. Again, they're working it around. Looks like everybody who catches it thinks about putting it on goal. So we're down to 60 seconds left here in the opening half. And a turnover from the Bears. Monarchs trying to get something going here with under a minute to go. Shot on goal goes in. Not even, I thought it was a pass.
Looked like a missed pass to me, just happened to bounce right past him. Just screening the goalie's vision there.
'86, Riley Jones credited with the goal for John Marshall. And the Monarchs continue to hang around.
Seems the Fairmont goalie was upset about that last one.
He should be. Everybody up here thought it was a pass. And we've got a stoppage of play right after the face-off. We'll stay with John Marshall. Another whistle.
Looks like they're going to try and set up a play.
44 seconds left. John Marshall uses their second timeout of the half. Trailing 7-4, trying to get a good opportunity here before halftime. Got a dark cloud right over top of us right now, but it's not too bad the rest of the way around.
No, nice and pretty blue around it.
We've seen a little bit of rain here and there, but nothing to really be concerned about so far today. Let's hope it stays that way.
Well, hopefully we'll stay away from thunder and lightning, because I know a lot of those poles are made out of metal.
I would presume lightning would get you the standard 30 minutes until we see the end of it.
30 minutes from the last thunder and lightning. See if that timeout will help out John Marshall.
44 seconds to work with. They've got the ball in the offensive end. They'll have to be in a big hurry. The Fairmont defense, they have been tight all game.
Offsides on John Marshall.
And quickly, Fairmont will go on the attack. 20 seconds to go. 15. Bears are going to get a shot off. They're going to have to do it now. Inside 8 seconds. Ball's loose on the field. Monarchs have it. We've got a whistle. That's going to stay with the Bears. 4 seconds. You hear instructions being shouted in from the sidelines. You got time for what, maybe a pass or two, and then
A lot can happen in 4 seconds.
Shooting with an empty stick, and that's going to be it. We'll go to the half. Fairmont Senior leads John Marshall 7-4 in this Division II Boys State Championship game. The Scholastic Lacrosse Association. I'll get it right in the next half. At the half, we'll see you for the third quarter here on Network West Virginia. Getting ready for the second half here at Pony Lewis Field in Morgantown. If I put the right graphic up, we'll be ready for the third quarter. Here we go. Fairmont Senior leads John Marshall 7-4. As we're getting ready for the second half, and Brian Guthrie here, Josh Coleman alongside, and you were telling me at the half, Fairmont Senior didn't even come off the field. They just sat down on the sideline. John Marshall went to the back. We would presume for encouraging words in private from their coach. But you said it's not uncommon for just a complete
turnaround.
Yeah.
Complete turnaround sometimes on the half. Teams get in their head that they're doing better than they even need to.
Fairmont Senior comes out with the ball after the face-off. They will start up the offense. Shot wide. Goals from Fairmont Senior. Cox has 2. Bragg has 2. Blackston has 2. Slager has 1. Goals from John Marshall. Reed has 1. Norris has 1. Fitzpatrick has 1. And Jones has 1. Fairmont Senior, the more aggressive team throughout the first half, both offensively and defensively. We'll see if John Marshall has a lot more fresh legs on the sideline, if that comes into play here later in the games. That sun's coming out. It seems like every time the sun comes out, it goes up 10 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Quick shot on goal is good.
Looks like Laxton has a hat trick.
Yep, that's him. Patrick Laxton, 3 goals on the day. Man, it's 8-4. So maybe we're not seeing a total momentum shift here.
No.
You're going to go ahead and call it?
You never know.
Not looking good so far.
Well, we saw the same thing in the girls' game.
Yeah, we
Up
did.
by 4, come back, and lose by 1.
Face off, ball loose on the field. Monarchs will scoop it up. Attacking the zone. Quick shot, good! Graydon Hoffer, number 10. His first goal of this championship game. And the Monarchs answer right back.
I think a lot of this game is going to be based off of who wins the face-off from the looks of it. A lot of quick transition goals or turnovers.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've seen John Marshall just really not wait for numbers or set anything up. Just run down the field, pull the trigger. And Bears will collect the loose ball after the face-off. They'll set up their offense. Spacing them out. Get a shooting lane, and that one goes in. That's Sliger, his second on the afternoon. Had 3 goals in under 2 minutes.
Definitely not uncommon in the sport, though.
Another face-off in midfield. Somebody moved early.
Yep, John Marshall jumped on the face-off.
I'm getting it. Polar Bears again, and refresh my memory, but I don't think they spaced out this much on offense in the first half. It was more condensed.
They're definitely trying to draw out the defense and see how far they can take them. That or John Marshall might just decided to play a little bit farther out and try and play on their hands more.
Bears will bring it in. Looking for a shooting lane. Point blank and blocked. Moore knocks that one away. Monarchs will clear and go on the attack. Quick move up front with numbers. Shot blocked by Murphy. And the Bears try to get out of their own end. Pass is dropped. And promptly turned back over. And turned back over again. I'm glad I don't have to keep stats on that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely back and forth play at the moment.
A little sloppy on the passing here, so.
Oh, yeah. ground balls are crucial in this game, especially when you have to get a turnover to get a goal. And it seems another missed pass just happens to bounce right in.
Wyatt Hill, number 28, gets credit for the goal. And yeah, that's the first thing I was going to say was that was a pass to the slot that they missed. And John Marshall is not going away anytime soon.
Definitely the difference in speed has messed with him on reading that shot.
Oh, yeah. I could watch it go all the way in.
Oh, yeah.
An injury timeout. Got Monarch down on the field. Trying to get a number.
Looks like number 18.
18. That is Gabe Hayworth. He will come off under his own power. Bit of a limp, but he will walk off to the sideline. Luckily, John Marshall has 200 players dressed for today's game.
Those shiny helmets definitely make them easy to count, too.
Only when the sun's out. Monarchs go to their offensive end. And we're going to have a foul called. #7 is Alex Brophy. Was that a...
I believe that was a trip for 1 minute.
Okay.
Curious, because that's normally a technical for 30.
Man up for the Monarchs, and they get a goal. Is that Hill again?
I think I missed who it was.
I believe it was, huh? 2-0. Number 20. We had so that was 20. Norris, and that is going to be his second goal on the game. And it's 9-7. And I believe this is the closest John Marshall has been since it was 4-2. So Norris, who I believe was their leading scorer this year, or one of the leading scorers this year, puts in his second goal of this game. And the Monarchs come out of this face-off with the ball again and quickly down the field, but will lose the ball. Murphy clears it out. Polar Bears on the attack. Quick shot on the cage is knocked away.
And kept in bounds by John Marshall.
Nice save, but it rolled right to Laxton for Fairmont. We're seeing more patience from Fairmont, more aggressiveness from John Marshall.
Oh, yeah. Fairmont's already in the lead. They're trying to maintain possession. The more they go for a goal, the less likely they'll maintain possession. By holding the ball and working around, they're looking for a more optimal goal and keeping a longer possession, keeping John Marshall from getting another goal. A big strategic point is whether you stay and burn time or you go and get another point on the board.
That one's knocked away. The Bears will retrieve it in their defensive end. Turned over. Is it hard to go into, I don't want to say a prevent mode or anything like that, but just to kind of dial it down? I mean, you've been so successful, going after and being aggressive on offense. Hey, we're in front, we can dial it down a little bit. Is that hard to do?
A lot of times players really get into the sport and they just want to constantly go. Some players even like their stats. They like to boost their stats. So
really? High school kids don't do that. Not stat patters.
No. But when you move quickly as a team, it definitely shows. You can put a lot of goals up in a short amount of time.
37. Dylan Ozzie nets one for Fairmont Senior. And it's 10-7. We talked about turning it down. They scored. So I obviously know what's going on. 5:55 left here in the third. State championship game, Division II boys. These are the top 2 seeds for the tournament. Down towards the crease, ball's loose on the field, and we'll have a whistle. Crease violation.
Have a couple of quick subs to help get the offense and defense set up for both sides.
I like the substitutions on the fly. I think that's
definitely makes the game more interesting and a little bit quicker.
Yeah, as a coach, you got to kind of keep track of who's out there. If they sub in some fresh legs on offense, you better be ready to
do your
make
scouting
an adjustment.
report.
This shot or pass goes wide. The Bears will keep the ball. We've got a shot and a flag down.
Looks like we have another cross check on John Marshall.
23, 28. It's 28 coming off. That's Wyatt Hill. Cross check for a minute.
I believe I've seen him in the penalty box once or twice before already this game.
Last time Fairmont Senior was man up, they scored pretty quickly. And I say that, and they turned it over. Maybe. Nope.
See, now they're 2 men down. They have a man behind, being slow to get back in.
Working it around, looking for a spot. Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow. Shot, good. That's Jacob Cox. He's got the hat trick for the day. (11-7) Fairmont. Cox has scored in each quarter so far today. The penalty comes back to bite John Marshall.
Here we see Fairmont Senior has a deep hole on the face-off. They might be trying to get a defensive advantage on the face-off here to get possession.
Laxton is being hounded over there on the far sideline. And it works out for the John Marshall defender. It's number 10, Graydon Hoffer. Creates the turnover, and the Monarchs will have the ball.
Seems like John Marshall's starting to step up there on their aggressiveness. Definitely stepping into the ball a little bit quicker.
Quickly trapped by the Bears and knocked it out of bounds, and they will get the ball back. Thought he signaled Fairmont ball.
I think he was getting ready to call a delay of game because he was tying his shoe.
Laxton step out.
Looks like it.
John Marshall ball. Inside 4 minutes rolling clock here in the third quarter. And we've got more whistles. And the ball is going to go back to the Monarchs. Ooh, nice shot on the near sideline, and we got a foul call. The next stoppage. Shot on goal was stopped by Murphy.
Oh, we have a broken stick by the sideline as well.
I didn't see the nice check along the sideline. Yeah, that sucker's broken.
Oh, yeah. Almost looks like it's broken two places.
I didn't see it. We got two Fairmont players on a knee on the near sideline. We're a man down on defense for Fairmont, or excuse me, on offense. One of their offensive players is gone. One of their defensive players is gone.
Yep, looks like Fairmont set up in a box trying to push all the John Marshall offensemen out.
So big advantage here for John Marshall, trailing by 4. Shot, score.
And those two penalties looks like they'll be releasable.
Catch a number on it. 32. Sean Fitzpatrick. That'll be his second goal of the game. And it's 11-8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8th goal of the quarter.
Seems the crowd's trying to hype them back up and get them ready to go.
John Marshall quickly on the attack. Swarming defense from the Bears causes a turnover. Bear player loses his stick.
And I believe it's turned over right back to Fairmont.
I find it interesting to watch, especially that last exchange, the defensive players trying to chase somebody down from behind, and just as they get to midfield, they stop. They hit that restraining line, and they just stop dead.
They stop on a dime half the time, and sometimes you'll get a nice little treat, watch one slide across. Then he'll poke his head up and look and see if a ref caught him.
Harder to stop on turf or grass?
I got to go with grass, especially when it's muddy.
Monarchs will dig it out of their own end. try to keep it in bounds. It's headed for the corner and will go out and go back to Fairmont. Bears working up the near side of the field. Monarchs cause a turnover, or at least a loose ball.
Beautiful overhead check, got that ball right out of there.
Wow, gave it right back up. Bears got away with it. Quick shot, knocked away.
Looks like a defender ate that one.
That's not any fun, I can't imagine.
Oh, no. Moving about 80 miles plus, small rubber ball can do a lot of damage.
Bears working it around. Looking for a shot. Knocked away. Oh, we got a flag down. Did not see it.
I believe it's number 86 with John Marshall with a cross check for 1 minute.
86 is Riley Jones. He will take a knee. The Polar Bear cheering section would like you to know, let's go Polar Bears.
Here we'll see John Marshall's defense really playing out, trying to get possession of the ball again.
Kick save and a beauty by Moore.
John Cage bounced off the goalie.
Goalie's going to go chase that one down.
Thanks to the goalie's efforts, that looks like a changed possession for John Marshall.
43 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We've seen 8 goals this quarter, 4 for each team. Got 16 for John Marshall. Wesley Eskridge had to work hard to get it into the offensive end. He will check out. Monarchs trying to find a shooting lane. And we work it around. 13 seconds to go. Ball's loose on the field.
Looks like a loose ball push.
Bears will have it with 6 seconds remaining here in the third. Time runs out. That's the end of the third. Fairmont Senior leads John Marshall 11-8 in this state championship game. We'll come back and have the fourth quarter for you next on Network West Virginia. Back here at Pony Lewis Field in Morgantown. 12 minutes to decide the state champion. Fairmont Senior has the 11-8 advantage. We'll see if they can hang on to it, close this game out. John Marshall has been more alive here in the second half than we saw in the first, putting up 4 goals in the third quarter. Fairmont Senior answered those 4 goals. But we've seen a definite change in intensity from the Monarchs. So we'll face things off here as the goalie switch ends. And it's going to be controlled by the Monarchs. Now loose ball again.
Another loose ball push.
And we'll work to the Monarchs' advantage. Pushing it up the field, skips off the shin of a Monarch player. Goes to Fairmont.
Ooh. And an almost offsides call along with, I believe, a slash on a Monarch player.
Bears working it around the circle. Backhand shot, no good. And a whistle. They call a foul?
I believe they called offsides on number 28.
That is Wyatt Hill.
Now I know I've seen him a couple times.
That's what you said last time he was
Oh,
in there. And the Bears are going to throw it away. I think it's cool that there's just balls placed around the edge of the field, so you just run over and scoop one up, keep going.
You can actually get a delay of game as a home team for not having those out there.
Really?
Yes.
Couple defenders tied up going for the long pass. And it's going to be Polar Bear ball along the near sideline. This is Laxton running it up.
Surprised we didn't get another offside call with number 15 falling over.
We got a flag. And we got some shoving. I always think the worst of people. Moore comes charging out of the net. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
He actually was the cooler head.
Definitely seeing John Marshall get frustrated and shove a Fairmont player around a couple times.
And you're only down 3. So, I mean, it's not like you're getting blown out of the building
No.
or anything.
3 goals is about 30 seconds, depending on how you play.
It's like the penalties expired. Back to even strength as the Bears move it around. Nice shot. Moore knocks it away off his shoulder. He's done a good job in between the pipes today. He just had a bad first quarter. They just couldn't get it out of their own end.
Definitely seeing John Marshall step up as the quarters progress. Hopefully we'll see some nice aggressiveness from both sides at this fourth quarter.
Fairmont Senior trying to secure their second state championship. John Marshall still to have their first. We've got a flag down. I believe this is going to be on John Marshall.
Looks like a number 6 got a slash. And he'll be taking a knee in the box for 1 minute.
That is Garrett Borum. So another man up for Fairmont Senior. Laxton unloads, tries to collect the rebound, but John Marshall will get it and clear out of their end. We've got another flag down, and he will flip it on net. Murphy catches it. going to be a slash on, I believe, Hayden Sliger. They said 2-2.
Looks like 21 will be
21
the one
is
serving
Sliger.
the penalty.
He will come take a knee. Long was just checking out. Now John Marshall with the man advantage. Trailing by 3 here in the final quarter of the state championship game. 9.5 to go. Great crowd here for this ball game. And Murphy will collect it. I don't think they got the shot they wanted in that sequence. The Polar Bears come back the other way.
Fairmont definitely quick on getting the ball from one end to the other.
Absolutely. This is Laxton. He has 3 goals today. Right into the midsection of Moore. And Moore will sling it the length of the field. This guy's going to get there. Nope. And Laxton is down behind the play.
Looks like he might have a cramp. That's a problem with having such a small team. If you're on that field running all the time, injuries happen quite frequently.
Hard to get water. And hasn't been too hot out here today. The sun has been in and out.
That wind, the breeze has really been cooling it down, thankfully.
Yeah, it's not playing in swampland like it's been the last few weeks. Coming up after this game, we'll have the Division I Boys Championship game with University and George Washington. Laxton will jog off the field. It's not
Looks
really
more like a
jog.
waddle.
That's not a jog. Looks like a calf the way he's stretching.
I'm sure the entire Fairmont team is tired at this point, while probably about a third of John Marshall's has even hit the field.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. At least when you play on grass, you can tell who's been out there.
Yeah.
When the clean pants come into the game, then John Marshall still has a 3-goal hole to dig out of. 8:47 left in the ball game. And Fairmont will start with the ball from their own end. Pass out to midfield.
Just great passes.
Picked off by John Marshall.
Right as I say something.
Nice move there getting into the offensive zone, but then could not handle the pass on the other end. Polar Bears keeping possession. Working hard for that one. Now that's a long pole defender that came up the field, so he'll just come back and somebody else will come across.
Yes,
right?
You have a midi switch positions with the deep hole, so you keep even numbers on each side.
Okay. So you're not assigned to that end. It's just got to make sure you have the right number of players.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But there is, however, a limit of 4 deep holes on the field at once.
Makes sense. Timeout. I don't know who called timeout. Do we know? Mitch called timeout. Mitch said timeout. So Mitch has used his allotted timeout for the ball game. 11-8, Fairmont Senior leads. 8:05 left in the contest. We didn't make it 20 seconds into the third quarter without a goal.
Really?
We've gone almost 4 minutes here in the fourth without a goal.
Both sides must be getting pretty tired. especially Fairmont with their numbers so low.
If they can hold on to win this game with the number of players that they have, that's kind of amazing.
Oh, just hands down, the effort that I've seen from Fairmont today has been extraordinary. I don't think I've seen one play where a player has given up on it.
Each team breaking their huddle. Trying to see what's left in the tank here.
John Marshall's best approach may be just to switch out the whole field.
Just fresh players on.
Oh, yeah. Fresh set all the way across.
Yeah, just try it for like a minute. See what happens. These guys got guys out there in the been in the flow of the game. I was going to say only multiple goal scorers. Fitzpatrick. Ball's on the ground. The Bears pick it up. Shot on goal is in. That's Colton Long. And has he scored yet today? I don't think he has. Senior Colton Long nets his first one of the game to make it 12-8.
See if John Marshall can return. As they are still playing man down.
It seems like Fairmont Senior's coming up with every loose ball.
Oh, they're definitely being aggressive, playing towards the ball, doubling the ball, doing everything they can to get the ball in the sticks and get it down the field.
John Marshall turns him away and will sprint into the other end. That is 14, Corey Gonchoff. And now it's on the ground again. Monarchs trying to get something going. Turnaround shot up front, no good. Knocked away, loose ball.
Looks like John Marshall come up with it and immediately redodge on the same defender.
Shot on goal is collected by Murphy. And one of those loose balls, I mean, it was two Monarchs and one Polar Bear, and the kid from Fairmont just flat out hustled the other two.
Oh yeah, he was behind him and at the last moment passed both to get a hand on the ball.
Polar Bears trying to clear. Monarchs keep knocking it back in.
Here we have both teams scrambling to keep the lead.
And it's going to be a foul on John Marshall. And the Polar Bears will get it back. Monarchs are swiping at everything, trying to just give themselves a chance to get the ball as we're inside 5.5. They're down 4.
as the ball's knocked loose.
Fairmont defense just collapsed on the ball carrier to get the turnover. And here come the shots. There's foul. I think we're starting to see a little frustration from John Marshall.
Definitely. Here in the final quarter, we'll see both teams get highly physical trying to maintain the lead.
And 28, Wyatt Hill on a knee, on a knee in the penalty box. I think that's the first time we've seen him down there today.
I hear 28. He must be the enforcer of the team. Now, another thing that John Marshall has to be wary about is that 5 minutes of penalties, the player is ejected.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
he's got to be close.
Very.
Shot on goal is well wide. And it looked like the Polar Bears just kind of content to work it around the circle and eat some clock here.
Well, they have the upper hand. They have time to waste.
We nailed it every time. Laxton fires it in.
Does that make 5 or 4 for him?
Let's see. There's 2, there's 3. That's 4. 13-8. Patrick Laxton, 6'5" junior. 4 goals in this state championship game. And it is a 5-goal lead now for the Fairmont Senior Polar Bears. 4:40 remain in the game. Monarchs quickly on offense.
And a pass mishandled.
This pass. They're just have to start getting some shots off at this point, right?
They need to try and work on their possessions, work the ball up the field slowly, trying to limit those Hail Mary passes.
Got a bear knocked down from behind.
And the ball will return to Fairmont Senior.
It was 22 long, and he will check out. Tyler Harrison, number 1, checks in for him. And Fairmont Senior with possession, with the lead, working the clock. Ball loose in the crease, kind of a crease violation, or he just threw 2 flags.
Looks like he's going to be in the box for 2 minutes. One of those minutes will be non-releasable.
Is that 86? Is that who they sent out?
It looks so.
So 86 is Riley Jones, who has a goal today for the Monarchs. So he's got 2 separate 1-minute penalties. A goal makes one of them go away,
yes,
but not the other.
John Marshall's really starting to scrap for that ball because they know they need that possession.
And the Polar Bears did him a favor right there. And an errant pass again.
There we have another Hail Mary pass, just throwing away the offense.
Pressing, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
3:24 left on the clock.
See a common theme, they always use their goalie as the quarterback to set up this clear, and then they move the ball diagonally up at the field.
Lucky bounce for John Marshall there. Loose ball on the field. But Fairmont collects it. Murphy gets it up to midfield. He's taking a beating.
And that 6-foot pole really gives an extension on how far you can reach.
And we've got more flags down. I believe we're going to have more Monarchs in the box. And we're seeing the frustration on the sideline as I think that was Garrett Borum.
They definitely
came to the sideline and chucked his stick on the ground.
They definitely needed aggressiveness on the field, but I don't think they quite needed this type of aggressiveness.
I didn't catch who they called the penalties on, but I think somebody took 2 penalties again. Nevertheless, Monarchs know time's running out, and they're just not getting the scoring opportunities they need. Polar Bears working it around. Opportunity in front, but knocked away. Recollected shot goes wide.
No one there to save the goal. Looks like goalie will get the ball.
They'll try another end-to-end pass. This one is collected. The Bears right on top of them, though, defensively.
Ball picked up on the outside. Save.
Murphy knocks that one down. And this one's going to be chipped up into the air and go out of bounds. And they got a shot off, but Murphy has been pretty good there in close range stuff. .145 to go here in the fourth quarter, the state championship game. And that one's probably going to do it.
Beautiful dunk on crease. Goalie's looking one way, ball moves to the other. Just a quick shot on crease.
Sliger gets his 3rd goal of the game to make it 14-8. .143 left to go. And the Polar Bears can smell it now.
Hopefully they just keep up the pace. This game can turn on a dime. John Marshall appears to still be a man down.
The officials may be, that might have been a polite, let's not get nuts out here. We have a flag down. Monarchs charging in the offensive zone. Shot, skips off the turf and right into the guts of the Polar Bear defender, but a nice show of sportsmanship there. After the play is 39, Noah Bragg. Took one right in the breadbasket.
Looks like we also have a slash on number 23 for Fairmont.
That is Micah Carlson. It's always good when the coach is telling them to stop talking.
Oh, yeah.
just stop talking.
And a goal.
A quick shot and a goal for John Marshall.
Looks like number 32.
That is Fitzpatrick, and that will be his 3rd goal of the game.
He doesn't look very happy about it either, fortunately. Now we have an even field of players on the face-off.
1:25 left. Polar Bears still lead by 5. Monarchs have it. They're going to have to move fast. Bowling down the field. And cleared out by the Bears, but turned over.
Looks like he didn't know where the 50 was. Got a
He
little
slowed
lost.
up at the 45, huh? Monarchs try to get it in, and the Polar Bears will turn them away. Clock continues to run, 40 seconds left. Monarchs just need to get some shots on the goal.
Another
And
goal.
they get one right there.
It's like number 28 for John Marshall.
That's 32. Fitzpatrick, that's back-to-back goals. But it might be too little too late. Monarchs come out with a face-off again. Ball loose. 15 seconds to go. I don't think the Monarchs are going to be able to get this one back. 5 seconds to go. Fairmont Seniors, your 2018 Division II Boys State Champion. 14-10 the final. An unbelievable effort from the get-go, from the opening face-off.
Oh, definitely.
Fairmont Senior played a first half that was amazing.
They knew they'd be shorthanded with numbers compared to John Marshall, so they came out hard and made sure that they got it and put in more heart than anybody else on the field.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Senior Polar Bears. 14-10.
Definitely a big congrats to Fairmont on their win.
And John Marshall, I mean, they played their guts out, but there was a stretch, especially in the first half. Yeah. Fairmont could do no wrong. They were always in attack mode, both offensively and defensively, and the Monarchs just really couldn't get any footing.
I think if they would have woke up in the first quarter when they got here, I think this game could have been a completely different outcome.
Fairmont led 4-2 after the first quarter. Fairmont led 7-4 after the second quarter. It was 11-8 Polar Bears at the end of 3 and ends 14-10. Fairmont Senior, 2018 Division II Boys Champions. Congratulations to the Polar Bears.